Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining here this incredible training, Sales Mastery. Get more clients to say yes with less effort. We're going to have a great time together. Let me know if you can see my slides first, and then make sure that you write a comment. If you're watching the replay, just put #replay. You can see everyone coming in. Hey, Jacqueline, thank you very much for joining. JC, Marta, Lee, thank you very much for joining, everyone. We are going to get Aslam. Thank you for joining. We are going to have a great time together. We're going to spend about 60 minutes together, and we are going to go through the things that you need to do in order to convert more effectively during your sales call. First of all, if you are listening or watching right now, put a whoop whoop here in the comments so I can see that you are joining, and I'm going to get started straight away. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm going to do a quick introduction, very brief. But before, let me tell you the three things we're going to cover in this training. Number one is going to be how to, what is the one thing that you need to do before you jump on a call with your clients, with your potential clients. Number two, how to lead an effective consultation to convert in a more effective way, but without the stress of being someone else, just while being yourself. And then we are going to look at how to close the sale in that consultation and build a great relationship with your potential client. So I can see Annabelle is joined, Karen, Sylvie. Great to see you. First of all, what is that you would like to get out most from this training? Write it down here in the comments. What is that you would like to get out the most from this training? Ask your questions. I'm here for you in this time. Oh, for those of you that are not familiar with me, I started with a big passion of personal development about 8 years ago, attending every single event I could. I was the weird one there with a hat on the top. And my business partner and I decided this crazy idea of creating a personal development event company. And the first year we made £2,000. Whoop, whoop. I didn't know how to sell. I was dreadful. I remember the first time I actually got my first 300-pound client. I was in my kitchen and I was jumping up and down like crazy. That was after doing at least 100 consultations for free, just because I couldn't charge for money. I didn't want to charge for money. I had a lot of money, shit, let's call them this way, around. So I had to find a better way that could that could make what I could sell while being myself and without feeling awkward. So I've invested a lot of time, a lot of money in sales training, and then we had the privilege now to grow our company. Last financial year, we filed $500,000. So it was a huge growth from the 2,000 pound that we made the first year. We had a great corporate clients. I was featured on television, on some major television, and also had the privilege of working with great names like Les Brown, Gary Vaynerchuk, or being featured and contributing in amazing publication like Forbes, Entrepreneur, being featured on Sky. So I'm saying this right now, I know a thing or two about selling. I've been doing now for this for the past 7 years, and I've been studying everything I could. And what I'm going to share with you is what is that we found that are the things that work the most, that work in the most effective way. Because with all the things I've learned, there are things that we're working better, and there are others where we'll say, no, that's not even a point to do that. And so that's what I'm going to share with you, what is that really actually works. So let me know again, what would you like to get out the most? Thank you very much, Jay, for joining, Evelina for joining, Veronica, thank you very much. Great to see you here, everyone. We did this training many times. It's not my first rodeo teaching this methodology. This is Lava, one of our clients. Immediately after attending this training, made $8,000 in a month. Or Darren, another client that went through this training, actually got his very first client. So everyone is a different journey. If you've been selling for a while, you might see an increase in sale after attending this training, while if you maybe are starting out, then you might get your very first client. Who knows? This training works. So there is one thing, and I want to get started with the one thing that you absolutely must do before any call that you have. And what this thing is, always pre-qualify. What do I mean about pre-qualifying? Never, ever, 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 ever go into a sales call in particular when you want to sell a high ticket item, a high ticket price, without knowing the person in front of you and without knowing what they want. And now I'm going to put some caveats around that, but this is the main point. Always, always, always have a system that allows you to pre-qualify this audience. Now, you can have different ways. I'm going to show you the one that we use. And also, after that, I'm going to give you some alternatives. And if you have just joined, for example, if you've just joined, then again, welcome, 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 if you just joined at this point. Now, the first thing that we do, for example, is having a page where we direct everyone that is interested in the work that we do and they want to book a call. And this page is designed for them to build a relationship with them, with us, and as well see a lot of case studies. So the page works in this way. They will have there will be a landing page with click here to book a free business assessment. Now, at the bottom of the page, there are literally about 20 different case studies and results that our clients have. Now, what happened is that, and this is the reason why it's important, if I go on a sales page and it's just, for example, a link to book a call, and there is no other context, I can change my mind. There is nothing that reinforces me the fact that I need to stay there on that page and actually book that call or buy that product. In this case, would be book a call for the context of this exercise. But so if you are now having that page, then you put also case studies around it. It means that the person is reinforced that they're making the right decision in booking the call with you. It means that they can trust you, because you can show that you can deliver results. Now, if you're starting out, make sure you do a lot of sessions for free to get in exchange of case studies and testimonials, because they are worth gold for your paying clients in the future. And that's how you can populate that page. If you've been already in business for a while and you have a lot of case studies or a few case studies, and make sure you create a page which is a case study page with the call to action to book a call. This is crucial, because now is a reinforcement for me that I jump into that page, that I'm doing the right thing. Is it making sense? If it makes sense, just give me a whoop whoop here in the comment if that makes sense. And a big shout out as well to Linda. Thank you very, very much for joining, Linda. Now, when they will click to book your free business assessment. This is what they will see next. They will see a page where we'll open a new page, and there is a brief description of what they are signing up for. Now, the reason why it's so important is because never assume that the person who's booking the call is absolutely 100% clear of what they're doing. You have no control. You cannot guide them. They are left at their own device, and maybe they are there distracted with 5 things at the same time. So every single step of that page needs to be clear. So immediately, I'm telling them this is what you're going to get. This is a free business assessment. What you will leave this session knowing, and also what's going to happen in the call. Our GTeX business expert will help you refine, what you need to focus on so you can grow your business without wasting time. So that free business assessment is designed to get you understand what you need to focus on. Now, the next page, once you're scrolling down, this is still the same page. There is an application form. In the application form, we want to know their name, their last name, email address, their phone number, the company name, and website. If you don't work with companies, don't put a company name on website, but you must have your name, the last name, the email address, the phone number, because just asking, for example, for the email address without asking for the phone number doesn't work that well, because you cannot really follow up with a call if you don't have that. Well, if you are having even the phone number, now you can send them a text, you can call them, you can you get the email address, you can send an email. Now, first name and last name helps you identify the person. So it's pretty straightforward here. And as you can see, we also have a how did you hear about us? That's the other thing that will show. How did you hear about us? And that's really important as well, because you want to know where this person coming from. Now, the beautiful thing about that is that now after you have 40, 50, 60 people telling you where did they hear from you and apply for the consultation, then you see also what marketing channels are working best for you. And then after I get their details, this is what's happening next. I want to know a bit more about them. I asking them, okay, tell me a bit more about your business and your current challenges. What have you done so far? So I want a brief description about their business and what they're doing at the moment. I want to know what's their main focus. I want to know their desired monthly revenue in this case. I want to know the current monthly revenue. So I want to see what the gap is. Then I can go in and bridge that gap. And then I will also ask them if they have the funds to invest in themselves. Now, the reason why you want to have this application, it is because there is no point in spending a lot of time on the phone with non-qualified people. Or maybe you are traveling and meeting them in person, and you don't know if this person has the money to invest or has the mindset of investing in themselves. And probably you've been in situations where you had a call with a potential client and immediately everything was going well, the program was a perfect fit for them, and now you start talking about money, and then it ends up that they cannot afford your program or service, or they don't have the money, so if you're clear about their financial situation up front, it means that you're more likely to pitch the right thing for them. Now, if I know that someone is already having a 7-figure business, the work that I can do with them is completely different for someone that has £500 in their bank account. Why? Because the resources are different, the network is different. So the work and the strategy that can implement in this kind of business is very different from someone who's starting out with no money, and vice versa. And so in this way, I can even from the call, I can already understand where they are without spending an hour or half an hour just finding out some basic information that I could get before. Also, the other reason why it's important, it is because people will spend time with you before spending money with you. I want you to write this down. Write this down in the comment. This is crucially important. People will spend time with you before spending money with you. I want you to, everyone, write it down in the comment. Why is that? Because people, before spending money, most of the time, they will do their research, and they will maybe attend a training, or they will attend an event where you are speaking at, or they will jump on a call. Very unlikely they will find you on a website and buy the package without knowing who you are. That's not how we work, in particular in this industry. In the expert industry, people will consume your content, will follow you, will see you around, and then they will buy. The only exception if they jump in on a webinar or they jump in a presentation, but you're already spending a good amount of time in front of them having their undivided attention. And that's why the conversion in this situation is really, really, really high. Also, big thank you very much, Marjorie, for joining. Phillips, Dean, thank you very much for joining, everyone. So this is why it's important to have that application process, because now that you're putting out there this application process, it means that they are spending more time. And there is another reason why. The reason, if you've probably read or heard of the book Influence from Robert Cialdini. This is a must. It's the book Influence, Robert Cialdini. If you haven't read it or listened to it, do it. If you have done it already, great, you know what I'm talking about. And one of the laws of influence is the laws of consistency, which means that as human beings, we are likely to take a big action if before we have taken a smaller action. So even them spending the time filling up that form, spending those 2-3 minutes, it starts in the commitment process for them. In their mind, they're already going through the buying process because they're investing even extra time, and they're making a small commitment, which is booking a call and filling up some questions. So then it means that when you're there on the call, they are more likely actually to say yes because they are already started the process instead of the call being the very first process. Does it make sense? Give me a whoop whoop if it makes sense. And what I want you to do is to share below what has been your biggest learning so far, because this part has been really, really important. So everyone, I'm sure, picked up different nuggets. What has been the most important thing that you picked up so far? Let me know here in the comment, and thank you very much for everyone who wrote. People will spend time with you before spending money with you. Now we're moving into the next section. So we have pre-qualified them. We have the questionnaire, we book a call with them, we agree on a time. You can use an automated scheduling system like Calendly, or you can book.me, or you can arrange a time in person. You can have a virtual assistant arranging the time with your potential client, depending what the best system that you use. The one that we use is we have an automated calendar system for Sephora, which is our business coach that does the majority of our sales calls. In my case, because my calendar is a bit all over the place and I'm frequently traveling or speaking, then my assistant Wang is managing all the call personally, because it creates more flexibility in my calendar. That's the reason why I do it in this way. You will find your best dynamic. You will find what works best for you by trial and error. So maybe try with a calendar system. They save a lot of time. Maybe try with the virtual assistant. I love, in particular, the work that Wang is doing with us. And Wang, he's there like giving the likes there. Thank you, Wang. So now we're starting with a consultation, and what I'm going to share with you is what to do during the consultation and the close, which is going to be the next part of the training. Before I go forward, I want to share Veronica that says that their biggest learning was the importance of spending time with people and that pre-qualified them. Thank you very much, Veronica, for sharing. Now, this method that I'm going to share with you right now is called the WILO model. If you have been following us for a while, or maybe you read the article that I published on Forbes about the WILO model, you might be already familiar with it. I'm going to break it down even further for you. Or if you are new to our content, our methodologies, then this is a new concept that you will absolutely love. Now, this is not something new or revolutionary. It's just something better. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for creating something revolutionary. I'm looking to create things that are better, more efficient, and they give more results. And the WILO model is this great model, and it is a checklist for you to go through a consultation. Now, in this call, in this training, I'm not going to give you a script. I'm not going to give you a script. Why is that? I hate scripts. I think that they serve a purpose, in particular if you're starting out and you don't have a clue at all about what to say. Unfortunately, what happens is that Now, if you're reading a script, you become robotic, while sales is a conversation. It's not a script that you're reading. Sales is made between, is a connection that you create with someone. And you don't create a connection by reading a script. You can have ideas. And what I love about the WILO model is that it's a checklist for you to be in control of the conversation, but at the same time having the flexibility of actually having a conversation which is made of back and forth and not pre-written questions. And that's what I love about that. So how does this work? First of all, I'm going to break it down. It's an acronym. The acronym stands for Welcome, Investigate, Lead, and Options. And that represents the first part of the sales call. So let's start from the welcome. The welcome is the first part if you're thinking about having a sales call, which is, let's say, 60 minutes, which is an average length, which I found personally, to have a very effective sales call where you are building a relationship, you are helping them out, you are explaining your product and services in details, and you handle the objections. 60 minutes I found to be enough time. Sometimes it will take less, but 60 minutes I found that to be enough time to start a conversation, close the sale, and not being rushed at all. Everyone also has a different way. There are some people, for example, that love to have 2 hours long sales conversation, and they convert well in that scenario. Some people convert really well in 15, 30 minutes because they do the majority of the work in pre-qualifying them before the call. So it's up to you what you find, again, is the best system for you. I personally prefer 60 minutes. And the welcome is about 5 minutes. And the welcome is about building rapport. It's about building relationship. Start that chit chat. Find that one thing that you have in common that you're both passionate about. There is no better way to starting a sales conversation in this way. Find something that they have in common. They have kids, you have kids, talk about that. They love basketball, you love basketball, talk about that. They like a particular type of music, you like a particular type of music, talk about that. Because now suddenly there is this bond. There are done the studies that if you find something that an area where you feel you belong, there is an instant connection. In particular, maybe you've been to a same seminar or particular training, talk about that. Maybe you just like something that they're wearing, give them a compliment. It goes a long way, in particular at the start of the call, but don't make it fake. Like, it needs to be something really genuine. If I talk about things, I will talk about music because I'm a musician. I talk about basketball because I love basketball. I talk about holidays or travels because I love traveling. And so it's not a forced conversation. It's a conversation that I want to have and they want to have. And therefore, immediately, boom, we are already connected. Then the second part I want to do in the welcome phase is to also set the boundaries. And that's the first time I'm going to show I'm in control of this conversation. There are a few reasons why it's really important to show that. And the main reason why it's important to show that you are in control of that conversation is that you don't want the other person to just go on around in circle and not give you the answers that you're looking for. Remember, this is a sales conversation, so it must have an outcome, which is a yes or a no, or let's catch up in a few days for the answer. But these are the outcomes. That's it. There is no other outcome. And so if you get them to talk and sometimes become a way for people to vent having a sales call, but you're not here to vent. We are here to find a solution and to find if we can find the solution together. And that's why I want to be in control of the conversation. So in the welcome phase, it's important to state what's the aim of the conversation and how long it's going to be. And the fact that this is an honest conversation and we can have a great result together if we are on the same page and we are honest with each other and open with each other. And that's important saying that. It's important because now if someone says, yes, I want to join, and then at the end they will be like, oh, mommy, mama, let me think about it. I'll go back and say, you remember the beginning? We said we were going to be honest with each other. So tell me, what's your real concern? That's why you can use it later. So that's a bit of a spoiler alert. But if you're starting building relationship first, then saying this call is going to be around 60 minutes, if it's going to be 60 minutes, the outcome of this talk, of this conversation, is to see if we are a good fit to work together. And at the end of this conversation, we are going to make a decision whether to move ahead together or not. And also, really important for me is that we are both open and honest with each other, because if you're not open and honest with me, I cannot really help you out. So are you okay with this? Yes. Boom. You get a first yes, and you're both on the same page. And they immediately see that you are in control and that you know what you're doing. And it's so important, because if you are in control and you show them that you are confident in what you're doing, they will be confident in investing with you. If you don't start a conversation like you know what you're doing, they will already maybe have a reservation, or subconsciously there will be something that will feel off. Not because maybe the offer that you make, but they might be doubting, are you able to handle it? Is it making sense? So give me a whoop whoop if the welcome part is making sense. If you have any question, just put the question here in the comments as well, because then we're going to move after the welcome. And after the welcome phase, we're building that relationship, we are establishing that authority, and as well we are making sure that we are both on the same page. We get the first yes. Now it's time to investigate. And that's where you will spend the majority of the time in your consultations. I spend generally a good 20 to 30 minutes in the investigation phase, which allows me another than 25 minutes or 30 minutes for the close and the program. And the reason why I'm spending so much time in that part, it is because I want to know as many information as possible about them. Even if you are selling a standard program, something which is the same for everyone values something different. And if you're able to identify what is that they value the most, what's most important for them, what's missing the most for them, first of all, you're going to identify if you're able to help them and if your program is the right thing. Because sometimes, and actually, you earn respect by saying, no, I cannot help you out based on where you are. And I had many conversations when I said, let me stop you there. Based on what you want to build, I'm not the right person. And we were, 15 minutes in the conversation. So let me connect you with this friend of mine that is more experienced in this field. And if there was a person that wanted to build an app, I never built an app in my life. I don't know how to build or launch a successful app. I read some books around it in terms of marketing or listen to some podcasts, but I don't have a real experience around it. So I send people that want to build app to someone else, because that's where their area of expertise is. And so in the investigation phase done well, you can immediately find something that is if they are the right fit or not. And there are 4 things that you need to know in the investigation phase. Number 1 is, what's their situation? Learn as much as possible about them, their background, if they have a family, what is that they are building, what their dreams are. Then we want to know as well about their problems. That's the second thing. So first thing is the situation. The second thing is the problem. So what problem are you facing right now? And ask them the biggest one and then the other problems. So one of the ways I found that people open up pretty well is, first of all, to get them started talking about their situation. Then I will ask them, so what problems in this environment are you facing at the moment? In this topic, are you facing at the moment? They will give me all the problems. I will say, okay, with all this one that you have identified, which one is the biggest one and the most urgent that you want to be solved as soon as possible? Why do you think I asked this question? Because if I know already that they have this problem, but this is the one that is more urgent, guess what I'm going to do? When I'm selling the program at the end, I'm going to tell them, hey, this is the first thing that we're going to do together. Or if you just do one thing together, we are going to tackle that one. So is it going to be more appealing or less appealing for them? It's going to be definitely more appealing, because they want that solved and they want to solve it now. And that's one of the ways immediately you can see how urgent it is for them to solve that particular problem. Some people might have a problem, but it's not urgent for them to solve it. Find a lot of people that they are overweight and they know that if they keep going with that lifestyle that they are having, they're going to have health issues. They know it, but maybe this doesn't become urgent up until someone has an heart attack and now they decide, oh wow, I actually got to change my lifestyle, and now it becomes urgent and they start investing money in that, or they start investing time, or they make it a priority. I used to smoke. It wasn't urgent. I knew that somehow it was going to kill me, but it wasn't urgent for me to stop smoking up until I went to the dentist, and the dentist said, hey, if you keep smoking, you will reach the age of 24 and you will have no teeth. Because I went to the dentist because I had a problem with my gums. The moment he said I reached the age of 24 with no teeth, that very day I stopped smoking. That very day, that became a priority. And I paid the dentist because it was a priority. So we will always pay and spend time for what is most urgent and important for us. That's why it's important for you to find out. Then once you've identified the situation in the investigation phase, and if you want to write them down as well, hey Annabelle, thank you very much for joining, and Juliet as well. Thank you for joining, Juliet. Now, I want you, if you can write this down, those things as well in the comment, it means that you can copy and paste them for later. The other people that will be watching the replay, they will have also those comments. I really appreciate that, because the number one is the situation, then the problem in the investigation phase. The third thing that I want to know is, how is this affecting them? And how will this problem keep affecting them if they don't change it now? So this is a bit of future pacing, and also understanding emotionally what are the consequences for them to keep having this problem. Because if they don't know what kind of consequences they are going to experience, or is not in the front of their mind at that moment, then they're not going to buy, because we buy to solve an emotional pain. That's why we buy. We buy emotionally and we justify logically. If I just keep asking them logical question and the emotional side is not engaged, then they are not going to make the buying decision in that moment. That's why it's important that you engage the emotional side, because as human beings, we make decisions with logic and with emotions. And so it's my role to make you think about the emotions if you're not thinking about it. Or if you're not thinking logically, it's my role to make you think logically if you're not thinking about it. Is it making sense? So write it down in the comment. People buy emotionally and justify logically. Big, big, big lesson. And so some people here at this point will say, well, but Simone, you know what? I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable getting them to think about their emotional side, because I feel like I'm manipulating them. Well, this is the reality. If they are not going to make a decision, if you're not then going to make a decision, is their life or business going to become better? Probably not. If they don't make the decision, it becomes worse. But actually, this is the real thing that happened. They don't buy from you, they buy from someone else that does this stuff. So anyway, they're going to get that problem solved. Whether it's with you because you asked the right question, or whether it's with someone else because they asked the right question, and maybe they don't even have your skills, expertise, or the program that you have created. Maybe they're not even as good as you are. Then they buy anyway, because if I have a problem, I want to get it sorted. And the best salesperson at this point will get, and the person I connect the most with, and I can see that they can understand me, they will get my business. And so for you, that question is a way for you to understand them deeper, because that's the real reason why they buy. You know, a lot of time I work with a lot of single mom, and they say, I want to grow my business, I want more sales, but what they really want is to create a future for their children. That's what they really want. And so if I don't know this important piece of information, how can I serve them in the best way? Is it making sense? So it's your duty to ask that question. How does it make you feel? What will be the impact in your life or your business if this doesn't change in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year? And then we are moving on the last part of the investigation. So if you join now, we are talking about the investigation of the WILO model. Then we know about their situation, we know about the problem, their consequences, and now we go into the solution. So what do you want to have instead? So at this point, we are not pitching the program and say, oh yes, I have the solution for you, like many people do, unfortunately. But this is about them asking, so what's the solution that you want? Again, at this point, I'm still listening. I'm still listening and just asking questions. I'm not giving any advice. I'm not giving any support. I just want to have as many information as possible so then I can give them the best solution as possible. The more information you have, the better the solution you can provide. And I write it down right here in the comment. The more information you have, the better the solution you can provide. I write it down, a crucial part. So I'm listening, asking, what solution do you want? So what do you want to have instead in your life, in your business? And now they will open up because we have a relationship, and they will say, you know what I would love to have instead is this, this, and this, and this. And now this lead to the next part, which is the lead. And the lead is just one question. And one question to transition from the questions to giving them the options and of the different programs that you have. And the lead question becomes, so if I was able to help you out in X, Y, and Z that you just said, and give you this solution that you want, are you interested in learning how we can work together? Yeah, brilliant, boom, let's move on. So now you have also their permission to sell, because you say, okay, I know I can help you. If I was able to give you this, this, and this, and to eliminate these things from your life or your business, and to avoid you that pain and give you that solution that you want, would you be willing to explore how we can work together now and give you different options and make a decision together? Yes, I would. Bang. Now becomes a conversation about, okay, that's why we're looking at options. What option is the best for you? But now you have all the information about them, about what's most important for them, what they need, what they want, and what they're looking for the most. Does it make sense? Does it make sense until this point? So give me a whoop whoop here in the comment if that makes sense. Just check and see that we have a lot of new comments here. Debo Kelly joined. Thank you very much. Sephora said, people are waiting to buy. Are you ready to sell, or will you give the sales to the next person they go to? That hurts. Engage with logical question first and make them aware of the consequences. Fantastic. So give me a whoop whoop if we are on the same page up until the options, because now is about giving them the options of your services. Ideally, we recommend to have 2 or 3 options. Because one option is a straight yes or a no. 3 options is ideal because you give them a choice. It feels more of a choice once you're giving them 3 options. Even 2 options, but I found the conversion is higher when we give our clients 3 options. And most of the time, they will pick the middle one, or they will pick the lower end or the higher end, depending on where they are at. So that's at the point where you're telling it, this is the first option that I have, this is the second, this is the third. And there is an important order in which you are saying them. First of all, you start from the most expensive one. Why? Because it's easier to go downhill than to climb uphill. Remember that. If you say the lowest price first, then this is the price that actually they're going to measure you. So then when you say the highest one, it sounds more expensive than it actually is because the benchmark is lower. But if you start from the most expensive option, then you're walking backwards, and so the cheaper one sounds way cheaper in comparison to the biggest one. Or the second one sounds like a really good deal because now you've put a high price on the first one. That's why it's really important. And if you guys decide to join our sales mastery, we have a course. I'm going to talk about this course later on at the end of this training. Then you will see we're going to help you out creating all your offers, your packages, and as well looking at how you can practice and do your sales call in the most effective way, because even the order in which you ask the question is important. So now you're going to ask the options, and then few things happen. And that's where we are transitioning to the close phase. Because now that you have those all those information, you give them the option. Now there is the close part of the conversation. And that's where, unfortunately, a lot of people struggle. That's where I used to struggle, because I didn't know how to close effectively. I remember I used to have this great conversation, and we clicked really well. We were getting along, we're feeling the excitement. They liked the different ideas that we were putting forward, and then there was this awkward, cringe silence that ended up with, I'm gonna think about it. I'll talk to you in the next few days. And I was like, okay, I'll let you think about it, and I'll touch base in a week. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Don't do that. Use the close framework, and this is how it works. And this, again, was Ben that developed this framework. Now, first of all, what we want to do is to confirm, because there's going to be, once we give them different option, the last question that I ask is going to be, which option is the best for you? And they will tell me the option, and I ask them why. Why is this option the best for you? Oh, because of this reason, this reason, this reason. So now I'm confirming. I say, okay, so you choose option number 2, and these are the reason why this option is good for you. Then I will ask them, now we are doing the first test close at this point. Are you happy to move ahead? And that's where we are leading them. Are you happy to move ahead? Are you happy to get started? Or are you ready to join now? This lead question is fundamental, because now you're doing what is called a test close. Now, you had already many signs if they were going to buy or not during the call. But this is the sign where they say, confirmed, yeah, I would love to go for that one. But if they haven't said yet, okay, yes, I'm excited, this is my card, very rarely this will happen. yeah, I'm excited, this is my card, take my payment right now. You got to ask for it most of the time. However, once, it happened only once. There was actually it's happened a few times, it's happened multiple times, I'm lying. It happened multiple times, but very rarely, where I was going to a program and I was selling a new program. But I had already a great relationship with those people. They were already clients for a while, and they knew the drill. And I came and I was starting delivering, said, this is what you're going to get. Which option do you prefer? And they were like, yeah, here's my card, take my money. I was like, yeah, sure. Sign me up, absolutely. But unless you have that kind of relationship, it's very unlikely it's going to happen. So it's important to have that lead question. I like, are you in? Are you ready to join now? Are you happy to go ahead? Are you happy to move forward? You can use that. And then at that point, once we are in the lead, so we confirmed is the option, we went to the lead, we asked the question, and now we go into the objection handling. And because two things will happen. One is they say yes. If they say yes, I'm ready, we skip the objection handling, and we are going into establishing the next step. However, if they are saying, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough resources, I need to ask my wife, I need to ask my goldfish, I need to ask my cat, I need to ask my dog, I just moved house. Oh man, you can find all the objections, and they are amazing. But these are the ones that I give sometimes, and everyone gives them. I just move office. Then we are moving in to handling the objection. So I'm not going to cover in detail how to handle the objection. This is going to be part of the sales mastery program, all the different objection, because that's a 2-hour training just on that. But now you know that in this part of the equation, you are handling that objection in this part of the sales call. And then after you handle that objection, then you summarize back. So let's say they say that I don't have enough money. You handle the objection, maybe offering a payment plan. And now they said, oh yeah, you have a payment plan, fantastic, let's go forward. So I'm summarizing again. And this is what I did in the confirm part. Going back, so this is the option 2. This is why it's important for you. This is the payment agreed. Are you happy to move forward? Yes, fantastic. And then we are going to establish the next step. In establishing the next step, we're going to do 2 things. One is taking the payment on the call, and 2 is to book the session. Now, a lot of people be like, I need to take the payment on the call? Yes, you do. Yes, you absolutely must take the payment on that freaking call. Why is that? The moment they leave the call is the moment where you're not important anymore. You have no control of what happens at the moment they leave that call. And some people will say, well, but what if the person in front of me doesn't want to leave their credit card details? What about privacy? As long as you don't store those details, and you store them in a secure place, and you have a payment system like Stripe, for example. It's a great payment system where you can actually not even store the details with you. You don't even have to write them down. You open the Stripe account, you add the new sales, and then you enter their card details, and the money comes into your account. The reason why it's important to take that payment is because when they leave that call, you are not important anymore. You are not the main priority anymore, and you have no control of what happens. And if they don't have put the payment details down, or they've not made the payment, it's going to be way easier for them to go back instead of sticking to their commitment. And it happened to me over and over again. Every time I forget or I just go and not take the payment details is the time that is a reminder for me that I need to follow the process, because the process works. So I want you to write it down right now in the comment. Take the bloody payment details. Take the bloody payment details. Now, if you're working, if you're working with individuals or small businesses. If you're working with corporate companies, most of the time you have to send them an invoice. That's a bit different on the corporate side. But if you're dealing with a small business or a private, always get those bloody payment details. Just write them down in the comment. Get the bloody payment details. Yes, take the payment details on the call. I want to also welcome Aaron that just joined, Taz, Siawasha, all the way from New York, Jatinder, Jim, thank you for joining, everyone. So we are establishing the next step, and after I take in the payment detail, which means the 16-digit of the card, the expire date, and the 3-digit at the back, I want to ask them also their full address. Some payment system requires you to know the full address to process the payment. Stripe doesn't, for example, but Infusionsoft, which is another payment system that we use, does. And then we're establishing the next step, and we'll say, okay, let's book the session. And you are immediately booking the next follow-up. And we're telling them what's happening next. So if you have already an onboarding process, maybe you're sending some resources, maybe you're sending some material to them, tell them what is that they're going to do. Maybe they're going to prepare a questionnaire before you tell them that they're going to receive a questionnaire. You're going to send them some resources, some material. Tell them exactly what's going to happen and then execute on that. Because again, it reassures them that you made the right decision, that you got your your shit together, and actually they can trust you. So it's important even to think about the pre-onboarding, from the application form that they fill up to the post-close on what's going to be their experience when actually they say yes. Because they are still in time to change their mind if you don't inspire confidence or that you actually have their back. And that's why every single part is so important. And that's why I didn't give you a script, but I gave you, using this acronym, there is a checklist for you to understand whenever you're having a call where you are. So just I want to ask you, first of all, before we go into the Q&A later, Jim J. Doyle, take the bloody payment details. Thank you, Jim. Love that. So before we go into the Q&A as well, I want to ask you to write down in the comment, first of all, if this question was if this session was useful for you. So was this session useful for you? Just write it down here in the comment. Let me know. I would love to hear what you had to say. And also let me know what was the most valuable part of this session that we did together. Write it down in the comment. Let me know what was the most valuable part, the one thing. I want something specific, the one specific thing that you said, that was missing in my sales process, or this is exactly what I needed this moment. Be specific. I want to know. I want to know. Aslam is like, show me the money. Oh yeah, show me the money, Aslam. And so what I want to do now, before we're going to the Q&A, I want to let you know that we are opening today the card for Sales Mastery Program, which is our full Sales Mastery Program. We are going to have different options for you, but the main aim of the Sales Mastery Program is to help you become a sales master. So then if you're struggling with sales or you want to convert more, you're not leaving any money on the table. Selling is an art and a science at the same time, and you want to know the science, but also you need to add the flair. And this is what we're going to help you with, making sure that you're fully yourself during every sales call that you do, but you're confident, you know, where you're leading your client, you have the right product, the right services, the right pitch, the right close, and everything looks like it's natural. And you're not deceiving anyone, you're honest, and it becomes an incredible conversation between you, your potential client, and that will result into a sale. So that's what the Sales Mastery Program is for, to help you master the art and science of sale. And it works. We helped clients like Annie, for example, making £60,000 in 14 days while going through these different programs. Or Desislava, which when she joined us, she was making $1,000 a month. And we did exactly what I'm going to do with you through the Sales Mastery Program. And she built a $100,000 business in 8 months, and now is $250,000. And again, she says always, thank you, Simone, for all the things that you've told me about the Weiler model and how to do these conversations. Because remember, environment dictates performance, and this is one of the most important things. If you are in an environment where you're surrounded by the best people and everyone is there to support you, it's very likely you're going to excel. If you're by yourself and doing everything on your own, it's going to be tough. And I often give this example that this is my basketball coach. I play basketball, and used to play in the NBA with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, some of the biggest names in the NBA. And I love the way I work with this team, because even if everyone in the team is better than me, then I've grown so much just being part of this team, because they were there to support me, they were there to help me out, and were there to push my boundaries. And that's why if you're surrounded by a great team, then you will become better. And a lot of time, you know, we attend the free training, we go in and we say, okay, let me implement and I'll get back and see some result. Now, when we go back, our life is still the same. Our business is still the same. We have a bit of knowledge, but, you know, if I want to become a great basketball player, I'm not doing one training and then suddenly I become Michael Jordan. That ain't happening. I need to consistently train over and over again. And that's why we have designed the Sales Mastery Program, for you to become a real master, not a knower, not a doubler in sales, but so that you know how to master every single part of the sales process, so you can have great and insane conversions. While being yourself. Because if you don't have the best practice, or you know what to do, you don't have the right peer group, you don't have the external accountability, or you don't have the right resources, it's going to be very difficult for you to succeed. Even though you've attended the free training and now you have a little checklist. But if you have the best practices, you know what to do, you have the right people around you, you have someone that keeps you accountable and actually make sure that you do what you said you were going to do. Because I think a lot of time we are the only one that get into our own way. That's what I believe. That's why I need people around me, because I can give myself a lot of excuses a lot of times. When someone else is accountable, I can give them excuses. And also, if you have the right resources, then you're more likely to succeed. And this is what we're going to teach you in the Sales Mastery program. And then we're going to start a Q&A, everyone. So if you have any question about the Sales Mastery program or any question about the training, please put them in the comment. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get, we're going to teach you how to get clients online. We're going to teach you how to get clients offline. We're going to teach you how to network and get clients through networking. We're going to teach you how to qualify your leads and help you prepare all the systems that we have. We help you also to become a master in the sales conversation, so to get to the yes. But also we're going to teach you how to dance with the no, which is probably one of the most important parts of this training, which is the advanced objection handling, when we're going to look at every single objection and be prepared. Because if you are prepared for the no, you are more likely to get someone to say yes. And also follow up like a pro. So what's happening after the call? What are you going to do after the call to get this person that maybe said no during the call to maybe change their mind, or to get someone that said yes actually to be reassured that this is the right thing for them? And also how to get clients from referrals. How do you structure very successful referral partnerships? So all this is going to be included in the Sales Mastery Intensive course. If you're excited, if you like this course and the program, just give me a whoop whoop here in the comment, because this is everything I wish I knew before I started my business. So there are different ways in which you can get involved. The good news is that there is nothing to buy right now. There is a link here in the comments, and you can find the link as well in the description where you can book a call. Now, you can decide to go for a group program to work together on the Sales Master Intensive for 1 month or for 3 months, depending on what's best for you. That's why we want to have a call, because we want to understand where are you in your business, what's the best thing for you. That's our style. We want to make sure you are incredibly happy 100%. But also you're going to have role plays. If you decide to join today and to apply for the call today, you're going to have role plays with our team. You're going to have 12 months access of our online membership site with all the different training on writing books, selling from the stage, getting on TEDx. We've got more than 30 different trainings. LinkedIn Mastery. You're going to have also a group call where we're going to answer all your questions and objection handle each other. Is a very fun process. We've done it last time. People were raving about it. And also you're going to have access to our 3-day intensive Explode Your Expert Business, which we sell for £197. It's going to spend 3 days, and we're going to help you clarify your business plan, create an offer, and launch the offer in 3 days. And this is what's included. This is what you're going to get. As I said, you can decide. We have different pricing for the group program, the 1 month or the 3 months. But it starts, the group program starts from £597 with a payment plan. And you will have 12 months of support. So £597, that's the first one. Make sure that you apply for that call. And then if you want to go for the one-to-one for the 1 month or 3 months, then it's going to be more. But we can identify what's the best program for you, a payment plan that works for you. Let's just have that conversation so we can get to know each other better and see how this program, our Sales Master Intensive, can help you out. And we are only taking 10 people. So the card is going to be open only for 10 days, and we're going to get 10 people. Tomorrow this offer is going to go out to more than 10,000, so we will fill those 10 places quite fast. If you are now live watching and you fill the application form now, you will have priority access because you took the time to stay live and to stay until the end of the training, which I really appreciate. And this is my thing. If you are applying, if you apply right now, I'll take one of the application and they're going to get one full Sales Master Intensive for free. So we're going to randomly select one of the applications, and they are going to get the full program for free. Woohoo! Right? This is your lucky day. So apply now for the Sales Mastery program. Just click the link. As you can see, it's very simple. You click on the page. This is what you're going to see, is a page where you can book your free business assessment, and you will fill up a short application form where we're going to ask you some details about you and your business to make sure that even before we jump on a call, we know about you, we know about what you're looking for, and then we can definitely help you out more during the call and see which one of the program is the best for you. And you will have a call with the beautiful Sephora. Sephora, give us a whoop whoop here in the comments. Sephora is our business coach and sales trainer. You will have a chat with Sephora. She will make sure that you understand every single part of the program, that we are the right fit for you in particular, and you are the right fit for GTeX. So then we can create a great partnership and help you get a lot of clients, make a lot of money. I know Chrissy and Vicky have been working with Sephora. Chrissy, I don't know if you want to write something here in the comments about your experience of working with her. It will be absolutely fantastic. I can see the heart with the Sephora's picture popping up here in the screen. Thank you very much. I love that. So what do you have to lose? I mean, you just have to book a call and then see how we can work together. Even booking the call, you have nothing to lose. You never know. Even if you think maybe you don't have the funds to make it happen, just have a call anyway. We might be able to find something that works for you. We have other programs as well if this one is not the right one. So, but apply, because we know that your ability to sell is directly impacting your ability to make money. And without money, your business doesn't run. And if your business doesn't run, then you can't make an impact. You cannot support the people that you love. You cannot have a lifestyle that you want. And money is a mean to an end. But money for a business is like oxygen. And if you don't focus on actually making money in your business, then I like saying, I'm not eating, and then let the body die. And if you know that your business needs more clients and the sales is not your strongest suit, that's why you should join, because we can help you, we can support you, we can be by your side, giving the skills that you maybe don't have yet, or giving you the confidence that you don't have yet, to have that sales call and say, yes, let's go forward, let's move ahead together, let's start this journey together. And that's magical when you have that with a client, because there is an immediate sense of partnerships, and that's what we're going to teach. How can you create a sense of partnerships from that sales call? So apply now. I'm going to have a time for a few Q&A. I just want to show you some case studies before I jump into the Q&A. We have Annette that using this strategy actually applied this strategy to a webinar, and over 7 attendees actually she made one sale. We had this one, we had Michelle that got her biggest international clients from an event she did. This is Lava, using this sales technique, was able to negotiate and speak a luxury retreat in Mexico and get paid for it. So as you can see, there is we got a lot of great results, not only for ourselves using this method, for our clients. And you can decide to join the group program, the one-to-one for 30 for 1 month or 3 months. You can decide to join which one. Just apply for the call, and the starting price for the group program is going to be, for the next 10 days, £597. So book the call and join now, because sometimes we focus on the cost of doing something, but what's the cost of not doing it? You know, sometimes we think, oh well, I'm saving £1,000 or I'm saving £500. But what if that could have made you 10,000? Now you lost 9,000. So there's always a cost of inaction. Remember that. And that's why we love to see how we can work together and support you and help you out. So join Sales Mastery now. Book the call, and Sephora will have a quick conversation with you to see which program is the best for you. Now I'm going back answering those questions here. This is a live training. Yes, Chrissy, this is live. We are here live. Everyone makes great sense. Don't stay stuck on your own. Yes, absolutely. Anyone have any question here on regarding your sales process, your sales system, anything of what we shared? Everyone is having a blast here in the comment. Okay, so we have when and where, invite us. So now, oh, Carolyn Ansley is getting on TEDx. Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, everyone. If you have any question, just put the part in. There is one final comment while if you're writing some question I'm going to make, which is one of the things that we are going to cover in Sales Mastery, which is one of the most important part, which is to be ready for the no. I read a book, I think it was called Go for No, or when the buyer says no. This is an amazing book, great resource I can give you. When the buyer says no. And the idea of the book is that the person in front of you is most of the time going to say no. When you're selling, you get more no's than yeses. So if you're prepared for the no, you have more chances actually to be successful in your business, or if you have a sales job in this case. Because when you have answers and you know that at any point someone can turn around and say no, in that moment, and you have answered, that's the moment where you are prepared, and then you are super confident. Because there is nothing that feels like is new, or there is not an answer that you can't give, and that's what it does. It gives the client a sense of reassurance. I'll give you an example of one of the objections that I've created for, one of the answers that I created for the objection, can I have a discount if I already offer something? Maybe I offer a discount and they ask me, oh, can I have more discount? And I say, yes, of course you can have a discount, but would you like me to deliver my service, the service that you want, at the level you expect, at my best, or would you like me to deliver it like not at my best? And we find that actually people have a giggle there because they see that they're not getting anywhere. I mean, I can give you a discount, but I'm going to take away stuff. If someone say, can I have a discount? They say, absolutely, you can have a discount. If you want the discount, I can take away this one, and this one. Or I'm not just going to do things at the best of my abilities. What do you prefer? And then they will have a giggle and they will say, oh yeah, I get the point. So that was one of the best answers for the objection. Someone is pushing for a further discount. Yeah, so the book is called When Buyers Say No. It's an absolutely amazing book. Lee is asking a question. So, okay, we have a question. So, Jackie, can you please write the question again so that I can see it, or Sephora, if you can help me out, and put it back in the comments so then I can see it, because it probably went farther up. In the meanwhile, I'm going to answer Lee's question. Do you consider PayPal a viable payment method? Absolutely, I do. Any payment method is a viable payment method for me. PayPal, it works very well. There are people that had problems with PayPal, in particular if there is an amount of money that you are maybe you're not used to receive through the PayPal account, and PayPal will freeze your account just to do some checks to make sure that everything is legit. That's what they say. But and I see there are people where their account have been frozen. Personally, I've been using PayPal for the past 7 years, never had a problem. And actually, something that I love about PayPal is that they have PayPal Capital. And if you have a PayPal account and you show that you're using it and there is money coming in and out, they actually give you financing. So you can apply literally in seconds. And we had, £1,000, £5,000 just extra as an advance, and then every time there is a payment through PayPal, they take back their percentage, and their interest are actually is a nominal fee for the payment. I think is for every £1,000 was £20, something like that. And we've been using that very, very often, so that we could get access to more money, access to more capital, maybe just use it, invest some money in marketing, and then pay it back just in percentage of PayPal sales. So yes, I absolutely love PayPal. And also a lot of people have a PayPal account. It makes it easier for the transaction. But with PayPal, you cannot put their credit card in. So I would recommend you to have two, PayPal and Stripe, and then give people the option. We have, so the question from Jackie was very useful. What are your thoughts on lowering price if no sale? Or should I be thinking, as you said before, don't lower as other customer not impressed? So lowering the price, there is a problem if you're lowering consistently the price. If someone else buys the same thing and the two clients meet and they talk to each other, that's a problem. Because unless there was a special offer, if now they see that actually just because you wanted the sale, now you're lowering the price, first of all, energetically, you're putting out an energy that you're willing to accept anything. While the moment you actually stand and you don't accept less than something for the work that you do, you're actually sending an energetic message saying, this is what I'm worth, and from now on, I want to track this. And you'll find that more and more people with these funds available will show up. So that's on an energetic, spiritual level. On a practical level, if the two clients meet and there was no apparent reasons why someone had to pay less or more, then you might have a problem with that client and break the relationship. And then the other part, you can ask, if someone says, I don't have money to pay for this program, it's worth asking, how much money are you willing to invest? And they will say, well, instead of investing 1,000, I can invest 400. Great. For 400, I can do this, this, and this. So now you create for them a reviewed version of that program, which is not the full program. So even if two people told to each other, first of all, you're respecting your rate, but then you can create a win for the other customer, which might not have the full amount to invest, or they might not want to spend the full amount. So you can give a discount, or you can lower the price, but also you can take away some other parts. So that will be my recommendations for you. So Lee said, I was considering client guilt and cancel payment. Well, a client can cancel a payment, Lee, whether they have PayPal or not. Even if they process the payment on a credit card, they can call the credit card company and stop the payment going out. So any payment that you take from a client can be stopped from the client, and is a part of factoring in. There are going to be clients that they are on a payment plan, they're going to cancel. That's straightforward. And the more you will run your business, the more you will understand what's the average percentage of these clients are. So then you can factor it in also in your business plan. That's something that we have at GTeX. Every other business that offer payment plans have. So it's not something that you can really protect yourself against, other than not offering payment plans. So that would be my, and it's worth doing it because it's a very small percentage of people that don't keep their word compared to the one that do keep their word. We have Evelina said, Go Cardless is the best and the cheapest option to take payment. That's a great option, Evelina. Thank you very much. Go Cardless is set for direct debit. You cannot take no international payments to Go Cardless, but if the payments are UK based, yes, you can use Go Cardless. And it's a direct debit kind of payment. So you're not taking from the card, you're taking straight from the bank account. And again, they can set it up themselves, or you can send them a form to set it up. Okay. Lisa, then it might be worth, if you had 3 cancellations this week, it might be worth exploring how did they sign up and if they were 100% on board, because maybe in the closing process or the sales process, there was a problem there where they made a decision that they're now regretting. So that's where I would see the problem. is. And sometimes it's there, sometimes it's just it's the wrong people. And so every situation is a bit different. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shoot off right now. I hope you enjoyed the training and this was useful for you. From your comment, I definitely saw it was useful. Make sure that you apply to the Sales Mastery program, so then we can help you out getting more clients, refining your sales process, getting in front of more of your ideal people, and converting better. Sales Mastery Program Intensive is all about conversion. Something that you will love is an incredible amount of role play that we will do, where you're going to role play the different sales conversations and the different scenario and the different objections. So then when you are actually on that sales call, it's something that you've done before and it feels natural. You know exactly what to say and you will feel more confident. You will feel ready to handle it, and the client will feel it. They will perceive it, and therefore it's more likely that they will buy. So book the call with Sephora, and she will have a conversation with you. She will have a chat with you to understand what is that you want to build and how we can help you to build that and make you better at sales. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Really appreciate it, and have a fantastic evening. If you have any other question about the program, please put a message in the comment or let me know. I'll talk to you soon, and remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.